everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Xero Invoice on Contact Form 7 submission. So I am an owner of a digital marketing agency and using Contact Form 7, I have created a form with the help of which I collect my clients' inquiries related to my services. I want that as soon as when if the client, a new form submission is going to be done using Contact Form 7. According to the form submission that they have done of the service, I want to create an invoice in my Xero account of that particular service. Now, creating these invoices manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Contact Form 7 and Xero with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that, let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Xero Invoice on Contact Form 7 submission. So as an owner of a digital marketing agency, I use Contact Form 7 on my website to collect my clients' inquiries for a specific service. And I use Xero to manage my invoicing and financial records, keeping my agency's account accurate and organized. To save time and eliminate manual work, I have automated the process. So now that whenever any of the clients submits a form using Contact Form 7 related to any service that I provide, automatically according to the service, an invoice has been created in my Xero account. This automation ensures a smooth onboarding experience for my clients, keeping my billing process efficient and helps me focus on delivering top-notch digital marketing solutions. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between Contact Form 7 and Xero with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the application that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Create Xero Invoice on Contact Form 7 Submission. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, over here it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Xero Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create Xero Invoice on Contact Form 7 Submissions, and you can see there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Contact Form 7. As with the help of Contact Form 7, I have created a form with the help of which I collect my clients and leads inquiries related to my services. I want that as soon as when if the client, a new form submission is going to be done using Contact Form 7, I want Pabbly Connect should capture the response of the form submission. And that is why for my trigger application, I have selected it as Contact Form 7. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Form Submission. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Using this unique webhook URL, we are going to build a connection between Contact Form 7 and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, open your contact form 7 account. So this is my contact form 7 account, you can see right here, and this is the form that I've created. Now what I want is I want to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. In order to connect, from the left side of the panel, if I'm going to scroll down, it says plugins. Click on it and I'm going to click on install plugins right here. As I'm going to land towards the installed plugins page, over here I've already installed a plugin that I'm going to search for right here. That is Contact Form 7. I'm going to search for Contact Form 7, and you can see a plugin in the name of Contact Form 7 has been successfully installed over here in my WordPress account, and the plugin is activated also, you can see right here. In order to connect your Contact Form 7 account to Pabbly Connect, you need to install this plugin. For that, under plugins, you have to click on this add new plugin and search for Contact Form 7 and then install this plugin right here. Okay, as I've already installed the plugin, I'm going to go back to the form that I've created. So this is the form that I've created, and as I go to install the plugin from the panel, now you can see it says webhooks. Click on this right here. As I'm going to do that, over here it says integrate. I'm going to select it as send to webhook right here, and for the URL field I'm going to enter the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Okay, after filling the webhook URL, I'm going to save the changes by clicking on the save button right here. As I've done that, it says contact form saved. As now the webhook URL is successfully added to this form that I've created using Contact Form 7. Now I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Contact Form 7 is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the test form submission of this form that I've created using Contact Form 7. And after doing the test submission, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test submission being done or not. Now for doing the test submission, I'm going to open the form that I've created. So this is the form right over here. Now we are going to do the test submission using this form. Firstly, it is asking for the first name. So for the first name over here, I'm going to write it as test. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as lead33. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as testlead33@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. And for the organization name over here, I'm going to write it as XYZ Company. Okay. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this submit button to the test submission. As now it says thank you for your message, it has been sent comes. This means the test submission is done. Now this form that I've created, with whenever any of the clients is going to fill the form using this form that I've created using Contact Form 7, they are going to raise an inquiry for my digital marketing services price. Okay, so that is why I've created this form and it is attached on my website. So now to check whether after doing the test submission, Pabbly Connect captured the response or not, for that I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of our form submission. First name as test, last name as lead33, organization as XYZ Company, email as testlead33@pabblytudes.com, and for the phone number, the dummy mobile number. As now the response of the form submission has been captured in our trigger, this means that Contact Form 7 is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. And now by the client, as the form submission is done, we're using Contact Form 7. For that client who have done the form submission, I want to create an invoice in my Xero account. As this form is created, that whenever by the client a form submission is going to be done, that means they are raising an inquiry related to my service pricing. So for that, I have to create an invoice for that same client in my Xero account. Now for that, we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Xero. Okay, and for the action event, I'm going to create an invoice. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. After that, click on connect with Xero. A window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button, as this is a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see we successfully authorized Xero to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing over here, it is asking for the organization. For the organization, the name of my organization is right here. So I'm going to select the organization from the drop down. It is asking for the which type of document are we creating. We are creating an invoice. For that, I'm going to select this a sales invoice right here. Next, it is asking for the name of our customer for whom we want to create a invoice for. Now for the data of this field, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous steps. So we're going to insert insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. As I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step of our client. Now for this same client, I want to create an invoice in my Xero account. So for the name of the field right over here, I'm going to select the date of the name of my client from my previous response. As I have selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I have mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means now, whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. It is asking for the invoice number next, which I do not require, so I'm going to skip the part. For the email address, I'm going to map the data of the email address. Next, it is asking for the date. I don't want the date, so I'm going to skip the part. It is asking for the due date. Now for the due date, I want that every invoice should be expired after 31st of March 2025. So now I'm going to enter the date in the same format that is given over here. So I'm going to copy this format from here and paste it right over here. For the year over here, I'm going to write it as 2025. For the month over here, I'm going to write it as March. And for the date, as the date I want is 31st, so I'm going to select it as 31st right here. So this is the due date of the invoice right here, okay? After that, it is asking for the reference, which I don't want, so I'm going to skip the part, okay? Next, it is asking for the line amount types. I'm going to select the line amount types over here. Line items are exclusive of tax. Okay, I'm going to select this right here. Currency, I'm going to select it as Indian rupees, as I'm dealing with Indian rupees right here. For the status of my invoice, I'm going to select it as draft right here. Send to contact, I'm going to select as false. I don't want to send this to the contact. Next, it is asking for the description. For the description over here, you can add the description of the item according to your requirement. I do not have that, so I'm going to skip the part. For the item quantity, I have a quantity of 1, so I'm going to select it as 1 right here. For the item unit amount, the amount of the service that I'm providing is of 49999, so I'm going to select the amount right here. Okay, if I'm going to go back to my Xero account and I'm going to open the product that I've created in my Xero account right here, this form is for knowing the price of my digital marketing services. So I have a product over here in the name of digital marketing, you can see right here, and the price of this product comes as 4999. That is why, as I'm going to create an invoice for this product or for this service right here, that is why I've selected over here as 4999. Okay, after that, it is asking for the line item code. Over here in the drop down, you can see all the products or services that you have created in your Xero account, from which I'm going to select the service digital marketing. As for this service, I want to create the invoices in my Xero account. Okay, so I selected the service in the name of digital marketing. Okay, I'm going to go back to my invoices page. Now over here, after that, it is asking for the line item account code. I'm going to select over here as sales. Okay, then it is asking for line item tax type. I don't have any tax type, so I'm going to select as tax exempt. Okay, I'm going to select the tax type right here. Next, it is asking for the line item tax amount. I don't have the details, so I'm going to skip the part. Okay, I'm going to skip all these parts, all these fields, because I don't require them. It is asking for the branding item theme. I'm going to select as standard. Okay, after filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, we have received a response, which is a positive response. As in the response, we have received the ID of our invoice as well. As now the response that we have received is a positive response, now I'm going to go back to my Xero account. So this is my Xero account. I'm going to refresh the invoices page of my Xero account from here. And as I have refreshed the page, you can see over here a new invoice has been created in my Xero account. Let us tally the response of the invoice. The invoice over here is created for whom? Test lead 33. You can see right over here, issued date is today's date. Due date over here comes as 31st of March 2025. This is the invoice number, you can see right here. Okay, this invoice is created for the service digital marketing. Quantity is 1, price is 49999, and over here if I'm going to see, the amount comes as 49999. Okay, as you can see, the invoice is fully created in my Xero account. This means that we have successfully created an automation between Contact Form 7 and Xero with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now, to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a digital marketing agency, and using Contact Form 7, I have created a form. So now whenever by the client a form submission is going to be done using Contact Form 7, they are going to raise an inquiry for knowing the prices of my digital marketing agency services. So as the form submission is going to be done, over here the trigger is going to capture the response of the form submission, and as the response of the form submission is going to be captured in our trigger, using the data of my client, an invoice invoice is going to be created in my Xero account of my digital marketing services that I provide. And I have built this connection between Contact Form 7 and Xero with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.